Hello everyone and welcome to my live reaction and discussion for Undead Unluck chapter 227. I did just write that down. I believe I have the right number there. Yeah, 227. Beforehand, we have today's sketch. Well, there's a little bit of a sketch, but there's a bit more depth to this one. And it is a really sweet, bittersweet farewell to Apocalypse, written by Tozuka. Just double check I have the right mic on. Okay, I do. Okay, well, let's start reading this. So there is a bit that I'm not sure about. Maybe it will click with me when I'm reading it on screen. But let's see if I can piece this together quickly. So we'll get this done before past. If you're watching this on YouTube, maybe, and you want to skip this bit, maybe skip 7 minutes in. But here's just a rundown of what this sketch says. Tozuka's farewell to Apocalypse. So, Undead Unluck's one shot. Okay. Really, I should piece this together before. I have not had time to write a translation of this. I will have it, and I will post it after this. But this is going to be me breaking it down in real time. I did have a look at it earlier. But, yeah, so this first sentence here. From the Undead Unluck one-shot to the time when the progress had been made on the serialization. Some ideas were in my head, like the loop, the results, rewards, Yuma, the night sky without stars, and then the round table, and the one who sat upon it, Apocalypse. I thought it would be a cool idea to have a talking book act as the mediator between, the mediator for the god that we have decided is the enemy. And then in chapter 9, or really it was chapter 8, but was the first time I properly drew him. I thought, wow. Ooh, okay, this is an interesting line to translate. Hey, Sandsteak. Right now I'm just going through the weekly sketch. I'll aim to start the chapter at the usual time, past. But I'm just going through the sketch for now. Yeah, so an interesting part about this bit that makes it awkward to translate is that Tozuka here uses the word ko to describe what Apocalypse is to him. Now, literally what that means... Ooh, you know, I thought I set up good lighting, but now the sun's coming in. So, sure, my mouth is going to be completely white, I guess. Don't have time to fix that. Yeah, he describes Apocalypse as his child, basically. Now, how am I going to translate this? Because it sounds very strange to say, my child, Apocalypse. But my creation also sounds a bit too cold for this, I think. But anyway, I'll say, I've created a good kid here, I thought. And I remember that even now. Yeah, and it says it's every time I draw this kid, it's a lot of fun. Now, this is the line I'm not so sure about. So he says, Victor Juice to no kakawari ga shoumenka shite kuru tabi, hoka no kiara tachi to wa mata chigatta okuyuki o oshiete moraimashita. I'm not quite sure. My Japanese isn't that good, so I'm making a mistake here. I did try. My last resort is always Google Translate. Even that didn't really clear it up. but it's something like, while the relationship with Juiz and Victor developed... Oh, that's strange. For some reason, I'm only just now seeing Takara's message, even though apparently that... I'm forgetting what order messages come up. Anyway, thanks, Takara. You might already be gone by now, but looking forward to it. So as the relationship with Juiz and Victor developed, Hoka no kiara tachi to wa chigata okuyuki o... Like, sometimes the subject is taken out in Japanese, which makes it so awkward to read as someone who isn't a native. But it's like I learned about the depth between different characters, and I'm not sure what it's trying to say here. It's my problem as a translator. Not that good as a translator. Anyway, the next bit. Anime demo, and in the anime, it gave such a good voice to him. I can only thank them, or I have nothing but praises. And then, it was good, Appo. Thank you, Appo. Yoshifumi Tozuka. So, a sad little obituary. I'll take this time to make sure that the sun isn't shining on my mouth. Appo-chan. Nice to see you too. See you here too, Raph's Revenge. And yep, about time we start on this chapter. Let's go. 227. I'm for either or. Okay. Yeah, just these classic scenes from Juiz and Victor. Oh, please don't tell me that's all we're seeing of the memories. Oh, I was really hoping it would be a full-on flashback. Thank you, Apocalypse. I have them now. Not how I was hoping for this to go. The memories you and the old me shared. Also, the way to manifest injustice. Leave the rest to me. You take a nice long rest. Mr. Top, I have a favor. Take me... Topside! Ooh, what's that? Damn. Nico, what happened? Top, hurry and take Julia. I swear. I'm sick of this. Okay, what's this? Who is this? I don't want to turn the page until I have a guess on who this is. So the lighting looks like it's some kind of soul blast. Someone's arrived, and I assume it's someone who can use the soul. Now, is it soul? Maybe. I swear I'm sick of this. Like, it's gotta be an antagonist, right? And who else is gonna say, I swear I'm sick of this? All the others are busy. So, okay, I'm guessing soul, and it is... not revealed in this page. Taking on opponents you stand no chance against. Oh my god. Oh, Shannon Mui, this is time. Mui growing old. Looks really cute. And also, hey, you're cute even as an old lady. I mean, that lines up perfectly with... what was it? Mui saying, I'll continue to... Oh, no, I'm mixing up two different Mui scenes. I was going to say... I was mixing up the scene from the summer arc and the scene from the Tenraisai. But yeah, they were saying, like, we'll continue to love each other until we're grey and old, and we're finally getting that. Fighting despite being at a huge disadvantage. Wars busting out the nukes. Billy is making an unchanged hamster ball. Still, as I observe each of you, because of Undraw, this sword is now mine. Okay, Yusai Injustice. Her sword is broken, but she's clearly got something going on here. I find those hopeful looks on your faces never change. Rip and Latla taking a counterattack against Sick, but if you go away, they will change. Oh. Okay. Okay, this might be the coolest Yuma name drop we've ever gotten. I don't know what the previous one was. Maybe Beast Phase 3 or something. Or just Beast. Beast Phase 2 was a hype reveal as well. But yeah, I think this is the best one we've ever had. You will die here, Unjustice. After all, you're already dead. Now, if... So we got Top, Haruka, Phil, Nico, Void. Void, right? Was it? No, Creed. Creed and Julia against Soul. Cool, cool. Soul, what are you so nervous for? Jui's died without looping and changed, didn't she? All you'd have to do is leave her. Or maybe you don't believe in my rule. Is that it, Soul? Okay, I like this. Ugh, this pisses me off. Don't you feel the same? Gina Chamber. What are you laughing at? Have you lost your mind? I mean, I find it funny. I'm better at making different male voices than female voices. I either have English woman or nondescript, slightly less English woman. I mean, I find it funny. Was that? You're the rule of change. But the prospect of not changing terrifies you. Okay, that's cool. That is cool. I'm what? Bullseye, right? They exist, don't they? Rules that not even you can change. Of course they don't exist. If that exists, bring it here. Oh. Bring me whatever it is that not even I can change. And Gina has lost her left arm. Okay, whenever I see an injury in manga, my mind goes to how likely is this to be permanent? And I don't think Gina has much of a way to mitigate this damage, does she? Unless Unchanged develops in like a undo change kind of way. Like, my arm has changed, let's negate that and it comes back. But usually negation abilities aren't about undoing a rule, it's about preventing it from happening in the first place, and yeah, she's missed the boat on that one. That's one arm down. You're an external targeter. You can't put Unchange on your own body. People change. Your mind is bound by that rule, i.e., me. Oh, I thought that was something, I don't know, like a hole in the satellite opening up for someone else to come in. I didn't realize it was just her beret spinning. And, yeah, cutting Change in half. I'm sure that's not the end of her. She sacrificed her left arm to prepare her next move. Oh my, I finally took a hit. Nice damage. Quite a change. You would have taken down any other Yuma with that. Oh, I love that regeneration. I love that. I love that she's regenerating through the DNA strands. But I am the rule of change. Even that attack of yours, Phase 3, can be changed into power. That is sick. That is sick. And I don't think she's going to last long because Tozuka is not going to want to draw this for very long. This looks like an absolute nightmare to draw. If the anime ever gets this far, I hate to break it to you, but this is going to be CG. This is going to be so much CG. Oh, but it does look awesome. as exactly what I want to see from what I want to see from Change Phase 3 is that she keeps changing. Like, I don't... Ideally, I'd like to see her continue to change, but, I mean, this is an awesome design. Now, shall we bring in some change, Gina Chamber? Call back to Andy and Gina's fight. Talk about a quirk of fate. The old me feared those words and fought against them. No. Oh, she's putting the jacket on? She's putting the jacket on. Oh my god. She's putting the jacket on. I fell in love with someone who never changed, and lived my life trying not to change either. It hit me in my final moments. Right now, I get how I felt back then. Enough. Ooh. Okay, how much do I want to shout? Not much. Enough of your enlightened prattle. It disgusts me. I bet it does. This feeling is universally known and constantly shown. So hey, tell me. Things that change or things that stay the same. Which do you like more? Was that? I like either or. Oh my god, this is so cool. Making a fist with your soul. It's useless. You know what you are. You are just an external targeter. Oh. You don't get to decide what my rule is. No matter how their form changes, a person's feelings, their resolve, their soul will never change. Even if that person were to die right here and now. Whew. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Change my queen in the chat there. Great. Yep, Gina. Let's go, little sis. Yeah, I know. That was fun to read. You know, this is a chapter that I think I appreciate more now that I'm doing reactions. Because reading that out made it feel so much cooler than I think it would have been if I was just reading it silently. Where was it? I bet it does. This feeling is universally known and constantly shown. Yeah. Okay. Oh, there's a lot to break down in this chapter. My worry that was building up through this chapter is that this would be like the Gina versus Change chapter, and maybe it will be the main one people will think of. I mean, frankly, this is a high bar. If we get more chapters of this fight, it's going to need to be some damn good chapters to outdo this one. But I'm glad that Change is still alive at the end. I was worried that Gina was going to punch and one-shot Change, basically. I'm glad that is not the case. So what exactly is happening here? Let's break that down. So, I guess the idea... Okay, so Change brings up, like, hey, you're an external targeter, you can't target yourself. We do know from what Nico said that negators can change that. So, she's targeting her own soul. Oh my god, I didn't even realize... When I first read it, I thought, oh, she's coating her hand in soul energy. Of course she isn't. She doesn't have that hand. That is just a soul fist. Oh. Now, why does it seem to rip apart Change's hand before it hits? Maybe there is some unchanging air around the fist? Because it's not like soul energy just evaporates Yuma's or anything. But, yeah, honestly, the art in this chapter is one of my favourite... No, I can't even say that. The dialogue is cooler than the art. The art is amazing. The dialogue is better. The fighting is just as good. Oh, Gina putting on the jacket, like growing into who she used to be. No other manga has the main characters develop into the people, well, into a better version of who they were. all the way 200 chapters ago. More than that. More than 200 chapters ago. Like 220 chapters ago. Yeah. Well, I know from reading the sketch just now that, yeah, I believe they arrive in the Union in chapter 8. So, yeah, Gina would have died in... I know. No, I think Gina dies in the same chapter. Yeah, I think chapter 8 is when Gina dies. But now she's... This is the culmination of her 100 loop character arc and her 101 loop character arc. And it's just beautiful. Beautiful. Oh. I love this. Okay. The change stuff is great. It is always hype as hell when it's like, oh, a character sacrifices their arm or takes a big hit for the sake of getting a bigger hit. That's always hype. I think the soul... Okay, Takara says, I think the soul fist goes through her hand because stopping it / it being blocked would be a change to what Gina wants to happen. Her feelings of wanting to punch change in the face. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Maybe I'm thinking about it too physically. You don't get to decide what my rule is. A person's feeling very resolved, so it'll never change. I feel like what the likely answer is, if I want to think of like the most simple answer it could be, is that that's just Tozuka like drawing that it is going through the hand rather than like evaporating the hand before it even touches. And that the idea is just, you can't change my fist, it's unchange. But yeah, maybe it is like working on the feelings. I mean, well, unchange has always worked on feelings. Oh my god, maybe that's right. Specifically because unchange has always been like, well, I say always been. In Loop 101, Gina learned that it's, you need to think like, I want to protect that person, I want to grab that person, and then unchange will do it. Just... Takara says, just as a soul boosted unchange, so a change to the understanding of unchange. She could also be negating change's arm itself in that. I mean, it would be funny if negators could just say, oh, your change, unchange, and just evaporate parts of them. But maybe, yeah. Ah, yeah. Change Phase 3 is awesome. I feel like that's most of what I want to say about this fight. But God, it looked so great. The panel of Gina and Change clashing, Gina's arm coming off. I love her hair in that panel. Then the Phase 3 page. I said it like 10 times. Her putting on the jacket. I love it. I love it. And then the punching panel, and then of course the final spread. It all looks so good. I love how Gina looks in this chapter so much. But things happened before the Gina fight this week, so let's go back to page 1 and really break things down. I will be honest, I am disappointed that this is all we got of the memory flash. Now, I was thinking, like, over this week, like, how many chapters are we really going to spend away from Andy and Fuko? Because as much as Tozuka is willing to, you know, push one of them off screen for a while, it's very rare that we get any number of chapters without either of them. The winter arc is, like, the only time, right, where we don't really get either of them. I can't really think of any other chapter where we don't get Andy or Fuko at all. So how, you know, we could say, well, that was with Juiz, and this is with Juiz too, so there's a precedent. But yeah, I was thinking, like, it's probably not going to be more than one chapter. But to see that it's not even one page and it's just reused panels, clearly Tozuka didn't have an interest in telling us that. It'd take too long. There'd be too many questions that we don't have time to answer. But I do wish that we actually got something here. Okay, got a few messages to read before I continue. I'm also glad... Raf's Revenge says, I'm also glad Change is still alive. Looks like we'll be cutting between fights this arc. Change might get washed though, lol. I feel like if this was the end of Change, then she wouldn't have that face in the final panel, like the angry, I'm gonna get you look. Like, I don't think that's how you frame, like, this Yuma is done. And to be honest, I see Change being one of the last to go. I was surprised to see so much of a fight so early. Maybe this will be the main chapter people think of when they think of Gina versus Change. But I don't think she's going to get finished off for a while. Maybe this is most of the fight, but yeah, I don't think it's over. Takara says, talking about change and unchanged changing is such a verb salad mess, that even more than usual when talking about negations. Yeah. Seeing the jacket droop over the stump, yeesh, didn't even consider that. I'm so used to anime and manga characters losing limbs. I just sort of stopped thinking about it. But yeah, of course, yeah, she's not putting her arm through that sleeve. That's all she's got. Raf's Revenge, I kind of wish we got a clearer view of Phase 3, and I'm a little worried we won't get much flashback for victories now, but Injustice Manifesting might be the perfect time for it. Yeah, I mean, I think my one thing I'll say is I'll be disappointed if we never see the original manifestation. Like, just a flashback of that. I want to see that. People were disappointed the fights weren't focused on. Now they're getting focused on. People will be disappointed there's no flashback arc. I want both, and I don't mind which one happens first, but yeah. Oh well. Trying to predict Tozuka is just damaging people's psyches. Yeah. Just like we're now getting the fight focus people wanted, we may still return to the memories. Yeah, but my ideal thing would be getting multiple chapters of it, and we're clearly not getting that. Oh boy, I need to pick it up because I forgot to charge my laptop today. So I need to actually make sure I finish talking about this chapter before I anticlimactically disconnect. If I disconnect, that's because the battery's dead, so don't expect me to come back online. Try and wrap this up, though. The Shenmue stuff, really interesting. Can't wait to get back to this fight. Billy and Teller versus War continues to just kind of be War being very menacing, and those two running away in a hamster ball. Not much is changing. Change. I mean, just as we said, like, sacrificing an arm for a bigger attack is such a cool idea. Yusai's basically doing the same thing here. She's lost her sword, but now she's winning. Very interesting note on this panel of Justice, though. And there might only be one other person in the world that's interested in this panel for the same reason I am. Because it was a comment I saw on the most recent Volume trailer, is that there was a panel of Justice in that trailer that I saw someone make a comment of, like, where was this panel even from? It looked kind of like this, like a forward-facing Justice. Maybe Dozuka had to send in a panel to make that trailer, and he was like, well, I'll use it here. I have to double-check that later. Rip and Latler making a bit of a comeback after their weak spot last week, and then Soul. Yeah. Not much to say about that other than aura. Continues to have the blacked out eyes, very interesting. And yeah, there's talk about change. I was really hoping that we would have a whole chapter dedicated to talking about change, because it is consistently such an important aspect of the series. You know, people changing, growing, and it being a literal rule that exists as a character. So I can't. Yeah, this is great. I think we needed a chapter just to talk about change as a narrative tool, with how much it's been alluded to. Like, it's always, let's bring in some change, Billy. Do you love change? Like, that change might be one of the most repeated words in the whole series. So I'm glad that we actually did get a chapter discussing it, Soul talking about it, Change talking about it, Gina talking about it, Julia talking about it. Yeah, I can't wait to make my thread for this one. It's going to be a fun one. But, well, first I'll say, does anyone have any questions? Why am I asking that? Does anyone have anything they want to say about this chapter? Anything to discuss? Because I think that's all I really have to say. It really is the first arc set up that consistent thematic thread so well. Yeah, literally the first negator. First negator we have an extended fight against is just talking about change, and like that is the third rule. We've got soul, death, change. It is such an important part of a series, and you can say it's an important part of every series, but at least it's constantly name dropped here. Like, we had to have a full chapter talking about it, and here we go. Yeah, this is great. Can't wait to see. I love that Gina puts on like her beret and her jacket, and it looks like it's Loop 101 Gina back from the dead. Yeah, this is great. I really wonder how much Tozuka rereads UU with all these callbacks, lol. The sand streak. Yeah. It really is like one callback every chapter, at least, isn't it? Yeah, it's clearly the sign of someone who loves their own series. And that might sound like accusing him of being prideful or something, but no. He loves this series, and it shows. It really shows. The consistency, the quality of the characters. Sometimes you read a manga and you wonder if the mangaka even cares anymore, you know? But yeah, Tozuka clearly loves his characters and his world so much. Raf's Revenge, this was nice to discuss it with you live. Same here, Rafs. Thank you everyone for coming today. It's always very much appreciated. Dog, he cried over Apocalypse, it's evident. Yeah. Okay, well, I think that's all I have to say this week. It has been a lot of fun. Thank you everyone for coming. Have a great week. You too, Takara. I really need a rest week. This last week's been very busy for me. You might be able to tell with how I've like barely posted anything on Twitter, but I've been tired, I've been busy. Sometimes with work, sometimes with writing and other things I've been having fun with, but yeah, gonna try and relax a bit this week. Happy UU Appreciation Week. Of course, yeah. Anyone watch it? Well, people watching this on Twitch, people watching this on YouTube, there's a Twitter event going on right now. UU Appreciation Week. Basically, it's just a little thing going on Twitter where every day people post about a negator they appreciate today. Tomorrow it's a Yuma we appreciate. Next day it's a relationship we appreciate. Can't remember the other ones right now, but it's a week going on, so if you haven't checked it out, if you haven't shared your own thoughts, jump on Twitter, or X if you call it that, and yeah, hashtag UU Appreciation Week. Share your thoughts. I retweet almost every one of those that I see. I love sharing the love. I was waiting. Oh, Raf's Revenge. I was waiting to post my tweet for Victor in case we got new info on him. Oh well. Yeah. Last thing I'll say before going, because I've said bye like 3 times now. I was thinking like, oh, I'm definitely going to do Ichiko and Nico for the relationship day. But hey, if this chapter's really special, maybe Victories will overtake it. But nah, reused panels aren't quite doing that for me. Ichiko, Nico for life. But anyway, thanks everyone for coming today. Have a great week. And I will see you for chapter 228 next week. Goodbye.